Hello, how's everyone doing today? I'm doing awesome. I'm doing great. And no, it doesn't do any good to complain. I would love to complain about something, but you know what? Nobody would listen to me anyway. So why complain? Just put on a good laughter, smile, and be awesome. Well, today's topic is to live for and to die for. Now, why did I get that title? That title comes from men need a reason to get up in the morning. Now, all throughout history, men always had motivation. In World War II, my grandfather served 32 missions over Germany in the Second World War. And he would put a picture of Grandma up in the cockpit of his plane. And he had 32 missions. He would come home. And his 32nd one, I think he got shot down. My dad says he was shot down over Germany. It's a miracle he wasn't captured by the Germans. But he managed to get home safely and come back home to Grandma. And I'm going to tell you something. We had a baby boom. Why? Because men had a reason to get up in the morning. You know what that reason is? Women. What was our secret to winning World War II? Women. Women would support their men in the battlefield. They also did it by working in the factories to produce the jeeps and the tanks and all the support mechanisms. Women were very supportive back then. They supported the men in the factories by working in the factories so the men could have the tools they needed to win the battle. And they supported them in the bedroom. Men had a reason to come home and cause a baby boom, which they did. That's a historical fact. You can look that up. We had a baby boom. My mom had 8 brothers and sisters. So you can guess what they were doing back then to entertain themselves. They weren't doing this on Facebook or whatever. And they were entertaining each other when the lights went out. Yeah, that's they didn't just do it to have kids to plow the fields. No. It was different back then. Women supported their men. They would, if their man was injured in battle and he is laid up in a hospital in London somewhere and she's over here, she'd fly to London to be by his bedside. Women dropped whatever they were doing to be by their man, to be at his bedside. That's a fact. So the men back then had a reason to get up in the morning. That reason was women. Women were the secret weapon to winning the Second World War. That's a fact. We have a baby boom to prove it. But today, men don't have that ambition. Today, it's completely different. Back then, women looked like women. They were young. They were attractive. Men had a reason to come home. Absolutely, they did. We had a reason to go off and fight, to die in battle, to win in battle. Yeah, we were motivated. We had ambition. But today, that is all but gone. We couldn't win a war today if we wanted to. Men don't have that ambition anymore. I'm 55. So the men in my generation, I guess, we were lucky. We were very lucky. Because we had something to live for. My dad had a wife and 3 kids, like Grandpa did. My dad had a reason to get up in the morning. He had 3 kids who loved him. He had my mom who loved him. So Daddy was out conquering the world. Daddy was unstoppable. And I watched my dad, and he did amazing things because he had a reason to live. He had a reason to get up in the morning. That's a fact. I knew. I watched him do it. He had ambition. Men today don't have that. Because we've taken that away through child support and alimony, and they can't even visit their kids. So they're telling men, you can't be a dad anymore. So how do you expect that man to get up in the morning and go to work? You've taken his life away from him. You've taken the fuel out of the engine. See, men are the engines and women are the fuel. Men are the motor of the world. What do you do when you stop the motor of the world? What do you think is going to happen? When the motor of the world stops, oh, your plumbing, we can't find a plumber because there's nobody working in the trades. That's not popular today. Secondly, we haven't had enough babies to go work in the trades, let alone anything else. So today, the pool of women to choose from, there is none. Half our population is morbidly obese, men and women. So you look around and going, they're just unattractive, nothing to choose from. Or they've been in jail a couple of times. They've had 3 or 4 ex-husbands. That's true. I went on a date with a woman. She had 3 ex-husbands. I'm out of here. I'm done. You know, I didn't date her again. I met another one. 8 kids by 8 dads. Oh my God. Well, what are we getting into, guys? What pool of candidates do we have to choose from? None. And there are times, you know, I'm better off single. At least I have the freedom to come and go when I want. I have peace in my house. If I happen to fall in love again, that's great. If not, that's great. I can say I've had it. I did have a reason to get up in the morning. And for years I was ambitious and unstoppable. I mean, why do you think, when I was growing up, I'm 55, so in my generation, there was all kinds of beautiful women to choose from. And why do you think we got on the football team? To get the chicks. Why do you think we got on the honor roll? To get the chicks. Why do you think we joined a fraternity? To get the chicks. Why do we get on the dean's list? To get the chicks. You join the military in an ROTC program to get the chicks. You go through officer candidate school to get those nice lieutenant bars. Why do you do that? Because you want to be the next Tom Cruise. You are inspired by Top Gun. You go, I want to be like that. Why? To get the chicks. It's true. It's absolutely true. The reason us in my generation who have been inspired by Top Gun, the reason we did everything we did was to get the chicks. I mean, that's the main reason. I mean, it's absolutely true. I'm not in denial of it. Everything we did, the clothes we wear, the cars we buy, the houses we buy, all to attract the opposite sex. Because my generation, our main goal was our finances and women. Today, the young men, it's completely different. I was hearing some statistics from a channel called Better Bachelor, and one of his latest videos about Gen Zers, and even Aaron Clary did a segment on this, and the stats and how many of them are suffering from depression, how many of them are popping pills, how many of them are morbidly obese. I mean, the stats are amazing. How many of them suffer from PTSD and ADHD and whatever. I mean, all the mental illness, 1 in 4 are seeing a therapist. That's just like, what? That didn't happen in my generation. No. Today's young men don't have anything to look forward to because they watch the men ahead of them get raked over the coals in family court. And you tell these men they can't be dads anymore. You say you need to get up and go to work. Why? Why should that man get up and go to work? You're taking half his paycheck on child support and alimony. Then the woman moves 200 miles away. He can't even see his son or his daughter. Can't play baseball with his son. Can't have tea time with his daughter. You've taken away a man's will to live. How do you expect him to be? You take away his ambition, you take the fuel out of the engine, but you expect the engine to work. An engine can't work without fuel. But you take the fuel out of it, but somehow you expect the engine to continue to work? No. Whether it's fuel, whether it's a battery, women are the fuel, women are the batteries. They are the power that powers the engine. You take the batteries out, take the fuel out, and it can't function. It can't work. And it won't. Why is there a labor shortage? That's one of the reasons. Why are there so many homeless men? That's one of the reasons. I've talked to several of these homeless men. They actually have names, and they have stories to tell. And when I talk to enough of them, there's a common denominator called divorce. A number of them have gone through the same thing. Divorce, divorce, divorce. I said, do you have a relationship with the kids? No, she moved 200, 300 miles away. I don't have visitation. So they have no ambition to go to work. They told me, why should I work? They're just going to take it all away on child support and alimony, and they'll have enough left to even rent an apartment. So they're homeless on the streets. Okay? You've taken away a man's will. Now, I'm blessed, and I'm a widower, so I haven't gone through the coals as far as divorce court, but I came this close to child support. Did I tell you that story? Yeah, I came real close. I was about 30 years old and I got involved with the wrong woman. And child support did come after me, and I had to get a lawyer, and he explained my rights, and he said, you have the right to challenge it. It's free. Do it, or they're going to take half your paycheck. You better do it now. So I got it done. Turns out I'm not the father. And so I got lucky. Anything below 98%, that's what the lawyer said. If it falls below 98.0, it could be 97.999, they got to let you go. They cannot collect anything below 98.0. So mine fell below 98.0. And they let me go. I was a free man. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I had to pay child support. I don't know where I'd be. And I doubt she'd let me see my own kid. Turned out to be a girl, by the way. She'd be now 25. So, yeah, men have to have a reason to live. In World War II, a lot of GIs did that. They'd put pictures of the women in their cockpits of their planes. Do you know how the Enola Gay got its name? Because named after a woman. And one GI did that. Yeah. GIs did it all the time. Took pictures of the women. They had a reason to fight, but today's generation don't have that reason. 3 out of 4 divorces are filed by the female. And the majority of the time, the men lose. And you tell them, you're going to be okay. No, they're not going to be okay. How can they be? You've taken their livelihood away from them. You assholes. You're taking their livelihoods away. How are they going to be okay? You tell me. Because I don't know. And so the generation behind them is watching this happen. Now, some of these Gen Zers are coming from fatherless homes. So they've seen it happen to their own fathers. They didn't have a relationship with daddy because the state wouldn't let them. Mommy wouldn't let them. Mommy says, daddy did this, daddy did that. Daddy's a bum, 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 bum. And so the kids that grow up without a dad, they're in fatherless homes because you're only getting one side of the story. And so their vision of marriage is bad. Look at Tom Brady. Even he couldn't hang on to his woman. 7 Super Bowl wins, and even Tom Brady is getting screwed over. Yeah. That's a fact. Men have to have a reason to live. But you take away that reason, you take away their ambition, they'll produce nothing. They won't go to work. You say, I can't find employees. What about the young Gen Zers? Well, they're not motivated to work. Why should they? And half the women are morbidly obese. 30% of the women identify as LGBT. So the young Gen Z men have no ambition to go to work either. And they're better off playing video games in mommy's basement. Daddy's not there. Go sell their blood for $800, maybe $1,000 a month. For as long as they're allowed to do it. Because I think they put a limit on it now. So, or they'll make money on Twitch, play video games, and get sponsors and super chats. Assuming they're ambitious enough to do that. But they make enough money to not work. So why should that young man come work for you? What incentive does he have to come and be a construction worker? Come and and be a cook in your restaurant, come and stock your shelves. What ambition does he have? What incentive are you going to give that guy? He may say, I have no incentive. No thanks. How are you going to live? I'll just sell my blood and live with my mommy. Because he's seen the men ahead of him get screwed. He doesn't believe in marriage. If you're a pastor, you need to be listening to this. So, what ambition does a young man have? I said, well, you need to work to attract a beautiful woman. There's no beautiful women to choose from, even in their generation. They're all on OnlyFans. They don't need a man. They make their own money. What do they need a man for? So the man can't bring anything to the table anymore. The young Gen Zer has nothing to bring. Nothing. Women are going to college. They got their own careers. They make their own money. Whether it's legitimate or OnlyFans or they have a YouTube channel. Look at your top content creators. Most of them are women. Even the men that are top are attractive. Are any of them ugly? No. You turn on the 6 o'clock news. Is anybody ugly? No. Good Morning America, Today Show. I was pointing that out to a couple of my co-workers. And I've noticed the women on the Today Show are very attractive and well-comported. They're wearing beautiful dresses. And I said, people don't look like that in real life. You realize that, right? And there's a reason they're on the Today Show. But it's a fact. Your top realtors, your top insurance agents, are any of them ugly? No. They comport themselves. They look professional. I talked to a woman, and she's like 80 years old now, but she's always wearing a nice dress, always looks professional. She comports herself. And she was a top salesperson for Mary Kay for decades. She outsold most of the women out there. Why? She, even going to the grocery store, she wore a dress. She looked professional everywhere she went. She says, I represent Mary Kay. I always look professional when I leave the house. I never leave the house in sloppy clothes. Never. I talked to her about that. She said she was taught never to leave the house in sloppy clothes because she's representing the Mary Kay brand 24 hours a day. When she leaves that house, even just to go to the store, she looks professional. She's always selling. You've seen that movie Glengarry Ross, Always Be Closing? Exactly. Always. And she sold Mary Kay. And now she's about 80. She used to come into the restaurant where I worked at, and I nicknamed her Elizabeth because she looked like Elizabeth Taylor, and I always complimented her on how beautiful she looked. And even though today she's 80, she's still a very attractive, beautiful woman. She comports herself. She's very professional in what she does. And that she's always selling. Always. Even after she's retired. People still ask her for Mary Kay. She believes in taking care of herself. So, guys need to have something to live for. The title of this video is To Live For and To Die For. And like I said, we've taken away a man's ambition. A young man today has nothing to look forward to. Look at the pool of women they have to choose from. They butcher their hair, covered in tattoos and piercings. They've got attitudes up the yin-yang. They don't believe in marriage. The women don't. They make their own money. They don't need him. They identify as LGBT. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But when 30% of them are doing it, that takes 30% of the women out of the dating pool. There's fewer women for the men to choose from. There's just fewer of them. So you got all these men competing for the same women, for the top tier women. It used to be most women looked attractive. A guy could settle for 7 or 6 on the look. Even they looked very beautiful. In my day, they did. on a scale of 1 to 10, even a 5 today, I mean, a 5 back then would be a 10 today. That's how bad it's gotten. Because people don't take care of themselves. I mean, you can't go to the grocery store wearing sloppy pajama clothes, and that's not sexy. That's not attractive, male or female. I mean, guys, you can't look like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers and expect to attract a female. That's not how this works. You know, eating pizza, drinking beer all day. Come on, guys. Get with the program. But then you say there's no girls to compete for. Well, there's still a few of them. But you got to give yourself every competitive edge you can. And stay off those dating sites, guys. Dating sites are 90% male populated. And the 10% females that are on there are probably bots. And they're just on there for validation. So it's not worth your time. The best thing to do is to be on Facebook or Instagram. Post pictures of you with your friends and your family. Make sure you've got a job, your own place, an automobile. Come on, guys. At least look normal. Because girls, that's how they're going to vet you. They're going to look at you and go, well, he's normal. He's got a job and he's got friends, got family. So that's what they look for. But when you're not there, you're not on Facebook, even if you're trying to sell insurance or real estate, if you're not posting pictures of your family, your kids, you don't have some amount of normalcy, you're going to be looked over like, forget you, you're a scam. We know nothing about you. We can't relate to you. So you're going to have a digital footprint. Whether it's romance or business or looking for a job, employers are going to look you up on social media. You're going to have some amount of normalcy. At least look normal. If you don't even have that, you don't believe in it, then you're done. You're done. So the young men, they just have less to choose from. You look at my generation, the women were all beautiful. Absolutely. Today's generation, no. I mean, they're there. There's just not as many of them to choose from. And the participation rate in sports has gone down over the years. There's fewer people playing sports. Fewer people with a talent to play sports. The military is having to lower their standards to get healthy people to apply. But the men today have no ambition because there's no reason to get up in the morning. My dad had a reason. He had a wife and 3 kids. My mom loved my dad. So my dad had a reason to get up in the morning and go conquer the world. He had his 3 kids, and we all loved Dad. We still do. And he has good relations with all 3 of us. 4 if you count my stepsister, who's actually my second cousin. But he's got kids who love him. He knows that to this day. He can still conquer the world. And my dad could do anything. I think highly of my dad. And I look up to him. My grandfather, same way. He had a woman to come home to. My dad had a woman to come home to. My grandpa was married. Grandma and grandpa were married over 40 years. My parents, over 40 years. I was married like 12 years before she passed away. We'd still be married today. If she was still alive, we'd be going on 16 years of marriage. Yeah. My track record is great. Another thing, guys, a woman's going to look at a man's track record. What kind of track record do you got? She's going to look at that. If she looks at my track record, she goes, well, he was married over 12 years before she passed away. His parents over 40 years. His grandparents over 40 years. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. He's got a job. He has his own place, a car. I'm just trying to use myself as an example. I'm just telling you guys, look, you're going to have to give yourself every competitive edge. I'm 55, and so I give myself every competitive edge I can. I have to. because there's not a lot of women to choose from. What few are out there, I'm probably competing with 100 other guys to get her. Each one. That's a fact. But most of those guys are not guys she's going to want. But I'm still competing with at least, out of the 100 guys I'm competing with, I'm actually competing with about 10 of them. So the other 90 she's not going to want anyway. So I really can't count those guys. It's the other 10 guys she's interested in that I'm competing with. So for every woman out there that I'm interested in, there's at least 10 other eligible bachelors that she's interested in that I got to compete with. The other 90 she doesn't want. They'll try, but they don't have a chance. Because they're too busy drinking beer or eating pizza, and they're too unhealthy. And like I said, To Live and to Die For is the title of this video. So I think I got the point across. Men have to have a reason to live. Men are the engines of the world. Men are the batteries who power the engines, with the fuel that power the engines. Women are the reason we won the Second World War. Women would go to work in the factories to support their men on the battlefield, and we won. They supported them in the bedroom, and we won. They came home and started a baby boom. That's a historical fact. We won the war. We started a boom. We had a healthy pool of workers. We were industrious. We were creating. We were producing. We were the #1 superpower on this planet. That has started to wane lately. Have you noticed that Hollywood isn't even being creative? They're not producing anything new out of Hollywood either. They're just regurgitating another Halloween movie, another Friday the 13th, another Freddy Krueger. They keep doing remake after remake after remake. Can't they create anything new? No. There's no ambition. They're just regurgitating the same old thing over and over and over. Have you noticed that? They can't create anything new. They can't come up with an original idea. There's no ambition. There's no ambition in an architect, apparently. They're building a Dunkin' Donuts. Looks like a Daygum shoebox. Have you noticed how many of our restaurants look like shoeboxes? They all look the same. They must have the same architect. There's no originality, no creativity anymore. It seems to be disappearing. The colors of our automobiles have gone dull again. We've had periods that's happened. Used to be all the cars were black, and then they started making different colors. And the 70s and 80s, probably the 60s, 70s, 80s, the 50s, all had great automobiles. But in the last few years, it's gone back to plain and dull. A lot of the automobiles, there's no color. There's no original design. They all look the same. Have you noticed? Even the automobiles look the same. Not much of a design difference between one and the other. One SUV looks like all the other SUVs. Not much difference. Not much originality. Not much character. There's nothing being put into the designs. You can't get anything fixed. There's no tradesman. You can look that up too. There's no ambition. When you take the motor of the world out, what do you think is going to happen? Men today have no ambition because of family courts have taken away men's ambition. We can't produce anything, create anything. We're not motivated to. We don't want to get up and go to work. Why should we? There's no reason to live. Without an attractive woman to come home to, there's no ambition to conquer the world. None. There's no incentive. The reason men do everything we do is for the love of a woman. And the love of our children. You take the kids away, take the woman away, the man's got nothing. That's a fact. That's why we're having a labor shortage. A man's participation in the labor force is next to none. Men have no ambition. There's no women for them to choose from. They're all morbidly obese with attitudes, covered in tattoos with attitudes. Or they make their own money on the internet anymore. They don't need a man anymore. Men are feeling left out. So the young Gen Zers, they just look at that and go, we're done. That's why we have an incel problem in the United States. A lot of men are just tapping out. They're tapping out because there's no reason to do anything. We'll just go our own way. Men going their own way. But you look at Elon Musk. He's out there creating. Why? He's got a woman and kids. Look at my dad. Got a woman and kids. My mom passed away now, but he's still got 3 kids. Daddy can still conquer the world. And he's 78. He's still up and at 'em. He's not in a nursing home. No. Absolutely not. I'm 55, so I hope to be like my dad. I hope to be like my friend Leonard. He's 96. Yeah, I don't know if I want to live that long. I mean, I guess if I met a 20-something female and got married again, I mean, I'm open to the idea. But the mathematical odds of that happening to me again, like it did with Nicole, are astronomical. But I'll take that one sliver of a chance. I probably have a better chance of falling in love with a 20-something and getting married again than I do of winning the lottery. Yeah. The chance of winning the lottery is like 1 in 100 million. Yeah. So you know what? I'll take my chances and go this way. So I don't believe in playing the lottery either. I don't smoke. I don't drink. So I want to stay as healthy as I can be at 55. I go for walks. I go to the gym. I do work out. I have to. I got to take care of myself. So, like I said, men have to have a reason to get up in the morning. My dad had a reason. My grandfather had a reason. And they conquered the world. Grandpa had 32 missions before his plane got shot down. But I'm telling you, he did well. My dad did well. And they worked with their 2 hands. And they built, they conquered, they did what they're supposed to do. I'm a product of my grandfather and my dad. I had an attractive, beautiful wife for many years before she passed away. I was twice her age. Can I do it again? Maybe, but I won't be able to do it again. If I do, it'll be only because of the halo effect, only because I've taken care of myself. I'm not 200 pounds past my belt buckle with buck teeth. Because I guarantee it wouldn't happen. I know that's for a fact because we had a guy come in the restaurant and he's a lot older than she is. But he looks old too. They get stared at. People stare at them. Creepy uncle. Yeah. But if he would clean himself up, put on some nice clothes, get rid of that beard, mustache, put on some dark hair, or at least color his hair. He's got, like me, you could at least make his hair darker, at least get it cut, well trimmed. You know, it's okay to have gray hair. Put on some nice clothes. Nobody would say a word. They wouldn't get stared at. Even if he kept his hair gray, if it was dolled up real good, you know, look, nice haircut, nice trim. Nobody would say anything. Because he looks good. He looks well-dressed, well-comports himself. But he didn't do that. And everybody's staring at him like he's a creepy uncle. That's a fact. So, the halo effect is very, very powerful. You watch the Today Show, you watch Good Morning America. Is anybody ugly? No. Even if they're a little overweight, they comport themselves to look attractive on camera. Both male and female. Yeah, that's just the way it is. I mean, we are human beings. We are naturally attracted to things that look attractive. I've gone on 35 minutes, and like I said, to live and to die for. So the young Gen Zers, like I said, they have no ambition to get up in the morning and go to work. You can't find employees. This is one of the causes. The young men don't have a reason to get up in the morning. They just don't. And even if they did, they're online making money. They're playing video games on Twitch and making money on Super Chats. Why would they want to come to work for you? They wouldn't. So if you're an employer, you are dealing with changing demographics right there in front of you. Things aren't the way they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's completely changed today. The women don't want to work for you because they're on OnlyFans. They're on social media making money. Why would they want to come and work for you? So you can't get the women. You can't get men to come and work for you because they have no ambition. Because you've taken the fuel away from them. I say, well, the wife is going to collect half in child support, alimony. I don't have enough to live on, so screw that. I'll just go live on a tent over here. When you're taking away his ambition, taking away his drive, taking away his right to be a dad, he's not going to come work for you either. The young men aren't going to come work for you either because they watched it happen. Some of them are in fatherless homes and they have no ambition. Why should they? They have to have something to work for, something to work towards, but they don't have that now. They don't have it. You've taken that away from them. So that's one of the reasons we're having such a hard time getting people to come to work, because there is nobody to choose from. And half the population's morbidly obese. We're not even healthy enough to even go to work. We're popping so many pills, it's not even funny. We still got businesses building buildings, but no one to put in them. Because they haven't thought of that. They haven't thought that through. They're thinking the way they used to think 20 years ago. Oh, people are just being lazy. That's what the baby boomers tell me. People just being lazy. No, they haven't even been born. Every time a boomer retires, or Gen X, I'm Gen X, I'm 55. If I leave, there's no one to replace me. There isn't anybody. Nobody you're going to want, because they're on all kinds of medications. There isn't anybody. It's not like it used to be. We haven't been having babies. We're in the negative. We depend on immigration for our workforce. And now we got to compete just to get immigrants to come here. Because all the other countries around the world are in the same butthurt that we are. So they're competing to get immigrants. If you're a doctor, nurse, engineer, they say, don't go to America, come here. What do you need? We'll give you what you need. We have to compete to get good, quality, qualified employees to come and work for over here. No, they'll give us the leftovers, the ones that nobody else wants. That's what we're going to end up with. And that's one of the major contributors to the labor shortage, because the men have no ambition. I'm not divorced. I'm a widower, but I understand. I'm trying to understand these men. I'm glad I didn't go through that, but a lot of my friends did. And I've watched them go through it and have their ambition taken away. Had their motivation taken away from them. When you take away their right to even be a dad. You move 300 miles away. I have a movie called Small Town, Wisconsin. And that's the theme of this movie. So this man takes his son to a World Series game one last time. His last time to be a dad. They tell this man, you better be okay. No, he's not going to be okay. You've taken away his right to be a dad. He can't even spend time with his son. That's the whole theme of the film, Small Town, Wisconsin. I was born in Wisconsin, by the way. But that's the theme of the film. Watch it. It's so true. I'm going, oh my God. I heard so many men tell me the same story that I'm watching on this movie. It's so true to life, though. They tell men, you better be okay, better stop drinking. No, why should they? I'm not condoning it, but you've taken away their life. Young men don't have anything to work for either. They don't have the same pool of women I did when I was at their age. When I was their age, most or all the women were beautiful. They comported themselves. They weren't wearing sloppy pajamas at Walmart back then. They actually looked like women, and they dressed decently. They did. And so my generation had it good. Today, you don't. You just don't. And so the title of this video is To Live and to Die For. Like I said, today's generation, they just don't have that. The Gen Zers are lost. They're lost boys. I did a video called Lost Boys that talked on a lot of the same things I'm talking about today. They are lost. We got a lot of men, they have no ambition. If we got in a war today, we'd lose. We couldn't win a war if we wanted to. We're physically not fit. We're not mentally challenged enough. We don't have a reason to fight. We just don't. Back then we did. Not today. The family structure is broken down. Nobody believes in getting married anymore. Like I said, even Tom Brady can't hold on to it. 7 Super Bowls, and he can't hang on to his marriage either. A lot of marriages are in serious trouble. A lot of men are not happily married at all. I was a good husband. My wife wrote me love letters. Yeah, I'd come home and from time to time find a love letter on my desk when I come home from work. I have a lot of husbands who ask me, and boyfriends, well, a lot of guys would ask me, my girlfriend she never wrote me a love letter. I said, what do you mean? She doesn't cook for you. She doesn't write you a love letter. She doesn't buy you a gift for no reason at all. They said, no, she don't do that. Mine did. Nicole did. Absolutely. I was lucky. She'd write a poem, she'd write a letter, how much she loved me and adored me and blah, blah, blah. It's like she'd do things for me. She went out of her way to be with me. Yeah. Women today, nah, you're not going to find that. I'd be lucky to find that again. One thing about having the genuine article, it's like having a real Rolex. Once you have the real deal, a guy like me can spot the real deal. I can also spot a fake. Yeah. Well, anyway, I want to thank you for watching. I'm already gone on 43 minutes, and this is version 3. This is the 3rd take I've done because I'm trying to perfect it, but I don't want it to be too short or too long. I'm speaking from the heart, speaking how I'm thinking right now. But I want to thank you for watching. Like I said, To Live and to Die For is the title of this video. And men have to have a reason to live. They don't have it. Today's generation, they don't. They just don't. I'm listening to these podcasts. I look around me and I can see it from my own 2 eyes. I mean, I'd hate to be a 25-year-old postgraduate student taking a look around and this is what I have to choose from. I'd rather go back to 1985. I'd rather get in my DeLorean and go back to 1985. The women back then were beautiful. All of them, even the older women, were foxes and they were cougars and they were attractive. Finding an attractive woman today over the age of 30 even, it's hard to find them. People just don't care what they look like anymore. They stop caring about their personal appearance. They don't care. I mean, they just don't. And they wonder why they're poor. They wonder why they don't go anywhere in life. It's because they stop caring. You want to get ahead financially, start caring. Get to the gym, get healthy, put on some better clothes, comport yourself. And people will treat you differently. When you respect yourself, they respect you. That's just the way it is. I got a friend, Matt, and everything he lays his hands on turns to gold. And do you know why? Because he comports himself. He's always professional in everything he does. He takes care of himself. I bet he goes to the gym. I bet he works out. So does his wife. She takes care of herself. And because they take care of themselves and their kids, and they put their kids first, they get ahead in this world. Everything Matt does turns to gold. He'll succeed in anything he does because of it. He's not putting pizza and beer down his gut every day. I guarantee it he's not. If Matt was 200 pounds heavier, he wouldn't have the success he's now having. That's a fact. If he let himself go physically and he started losing his hair, nah, he wouldn't have the success he's having. Nope. He takes care of himself. He sure does. And because he does, society takes care of him. That's just the way it works. Anyway, I think we're up to 46 minutes. Yeah, because I got a timer in front of me. So this is being... You're asking what kind of camera am I using for this particular video? I am using the 9th generation iPad. Just a regular iPad. It's not an iPad Pro, but it's got a good camera. 12 megapixels. I'm using lights. I shaved and showered before I came on camera. And I'm trying a new look. Trying different things. To create a perfect brand. Find out what works, what doesn't work. This video has already went on 46 minutes. Comment below. I love to read your comments. Are you one of the lost boys? Are you one of these men who feel you have nothing left? There's a lot of men who feel this way. Those lights in my eyes make it look like, Jeremiah, are you tearing up? No. It's the studio lights you're seeing right here. I got a studio light here. I got another one over here. So you're seeing these lights in my eyes because I'm looking. It's like, man, it looks like, Jeremiah, it's like you're tearing up. No. It's just those are the studio lights. I guarantee I feel great. Those are the studio lights you're seeing reflecting in my eyeballs. Subscribe, whatever platform you're watching this on. Comment below, whatever platform you're watching this on. Those comments. I love to read them because it helps the algorithm too. Yeah, because comments help. It means I'm engaging the audience. This is done hard copy, so this is not live stream. I might do a live stream version of this. Would you like to, so everybody can participate in it? I might do one. If you'd like to see a live stream version, let me know and I'll plot and plan it. As long as I got people watching and participating. If you want me to do a live stream version of this, I need to make sure I got people that are willing to participate. Come on camera, participating by writing in comments. I want you to engage and participate. I want you to have something to say about this topic. I'm going to send this video out to the manosphere on the YouTube probably. Probably hashtag a couple of 3 or 4 YouTubers that deal in these topics because I do listen to their podcasts and that's where I get some of my ideas. They don't know that there's guys out there who listen to them and do their own research and take a look around. I work in a public place and I take a look around. I'm saying, oh my God. You know, there are times I don't feel good either after my wife's passing, but I've got more good days than bad days. And for this year, I'm embracing the holidays. So that means I'm making progress. Because I went and bought some Christmas movies. I'm going to sit there and watch them. Can't wait to watch them. And I'm going to be embracing the holidays this year. Like, you know, so yeah, that's progress for me. You know, because in the past, just didn't care for Christmas. But now I do. I'm looking forward to it. I want to go to Silver Dollar City. I'm looking for someone to take me there Because it's cringy to go by yourself. It's like going to the movies by yourself, going out to eat by yourself. You just don't do those things. I went to the movies by myself 30 years ago. I seen the Neverending Story Part 2. Never did it again. And I was only 25, and it was cringy then. A middle-aged man in a movie theater? Nah, that's even extra cringy. No thanks. I never did that again. I enjoyed the movie, but yeah, it was cringy even then. The movie theater was Century 21. It was Century 21 at the Battlefield Mall. The Neverending Story was playing there. And that's the movie I saw. I remember where I saw it. And I never did that again. No. Seen Top Gun Maverick, but I went with my friend Sandra. So, yeah. I'd like to go to Silver Dollar City. So, if anyone is going that I know, it's got to be someone that I know that I feel comfortable going with. I can pay my own way, pay for gas. You know, I have no problem doing that. I just want to go see the Christmas lights. I want to, at least, as long as it's a family that I know and trust. Because I have to trust them too. Because I'm getting into a car with the strangers. Yeah, I've got to make sure I trust them. They're not going to leave me stranded somewhere and take all my money. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. But you never know. But I like to go see the Christmas lights. So I'm looking, hopefully somebody will respond and I can go with their family and I'll pay my own way. I can help pay for gas. It's not a problem. But yeah. Yeah, I'm embracing Christmas this year. So it's the first time since she passed that I'm doing it. It's very therapeutic. I got to do it. Face it head on. But like I said, guys, you got to take care of yourself. Your employers are looking for employees. I'm telling you why you're not finding them. I may do another video just on the labor shortage on that topic alone. I need to do an update on it anyway. But, yeah. Men have to have a reason to get up in the morning. You'd stick an attractive woman with a halfway decent attractive man, they'll conquer the world. Yeah. Absolutely. But anyway, I think I said everything I'm going to say, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.